Welcome everyone. This is our 15th episode on World Talent Economic Forums, and we do lot of intellectual discussions. We bring lot of the famous scholars and the business persons and the professional person from around the world. Today, actually, we do focus on South Asian market, especially from Bangladesh. And because we do already take interview from Silicon Valley, from Cyberjab, from Australia, from Europe, from France, everywhere we try to connect. But specifically from first world, they want to know what's the present condition of a developing nations, what type of challenges they face, and how they reduce different kind of challenging moment and environment. So in that particular situation, we invite two of the experienced guy, Mr. Sadi, and another one is Mr. Reja. Mr. Sadi actually from healthcare industry. On the other hand, Mr. Reja is from garments industry. So today we will get some insight, and we have a lot of intellectual discussion and entertainment we have. So let's start with Mr. Sadi. Can you please introduce yourself, and people want to know about the healthcare system of Bangladesh.
This is hello. Hi, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sadi Abdullah. I am the CEO of System Engineering. So I am basically an engineer by profession. So I am involved with the hospital sector. Especially at this moment, I am very much involved with the police hospital and the healthcare system in Bangladesh. It is certainly not very good, I should say, because the number of doctors we have and the number of people we have, the ratio is very odd. But still, we need to think that how to manage within this people within this category. That means the number of doctors we have, and we need to manage the large number of population. So in this COVID situation, what is happening that the doctors are also scared, the patients are also scared. The number of doctors has reduced a lot because every chamber is not open. All the hospitals are not working in full swing. And basically, one thing is getting difficult because all the hospitals are not general hospitals. Those are specialized hospitals. So what happened is specialized hospital, for example, one hospital is a hospital for cardiology. And this cardiology hospital, suddenly they cannot transform themselves in a COVID hospital. So these kind of situations are happening in Bangladesh. One of the reflection is this United Hospital issue, because they are basically specialized hospital, but as they need to do the COVID patients treatment, they opened a new section. And as they did it very quickly, there's some incident has happened. So in general, our health system is not very good, especially outside Dhaka. The situation is even bad, even worse, and it is very difficult to get the proper service for those patients.
Thank you. Now I want to move with Mr. Reza. So what's the present conditions? Can you introduce yourself, and what's the present condition of Bangladesh? Because Bangladesh has heavy dependency on garments industry.
Yeah. In fact, hi, everybody, good evening. My name is Reza Ilyas. I am representing a foreign garments buyer called Cadence Fashion, based on Belgium, and I am in this trade for the last 19 years. So I have been having a lot of important issues are there. So I have been very much visiting to and fro to garment industry, and I've been following the system of process implementation of the factory as well. So I have some sort of couple of good information with me, which really enable us to There's a lot of ways and means to improve, and in this COVID situation, there are a couple of threats are also seen, that the economic disruption caused by COVID, threatens the millions of livelihood in Bangladesh, especially live person, those who are deferring their expenses out of garments industry workers. Government has taken some sort of aggressive cash transfer program at the same time to motivate people of garments worker. So Bangladesh really started fighting a battle against the COVID-19. In the meanwhile, what I find from our garments, that it is really challenging for us. Today, what I find from the Daily Star, that IMF has approved US dollar it says 732 million US dollars as an emergency assistance for loan for Bangladesh to help the countries to face the challenges of COVID-19. If what happens, this will address the urgent balance of payment and fiscal needs as well, as the pandemic is severely impacting Bangladesh economy. So more particularly, if I say something about the current situation in Bangladesh, it has a major we have Bangladesh has two major sources of external earnings and financing. Number one, earnings from ready-made garments, and from the Bangladeshi national, those who are living abroad and working, and they are sending the remittance. So these two factors affect what happened. Garment industry now are really the state, and for this long shutdown that inevitably affected economic activities, which causes slow growth of ready-made garments. So we have to make the strengthened background, of backward linkage for sustainable ready-made garments sector. And what I find that we should now focus on the localization rather than globalization. In that case, at least our foreign exchange earning can rise, because we are dependable to other countries as well for importing. We are very much dependent. So Bangladesh, as we know, Bangladesh is one of the largest ready-made garment manufacturer in this world, and is experiencing tremendous uncertainty and difficulties following the shock of COVID-19. So we are really proud of our ready-made garment industry, and contributes around we contribute around 84% of our national export earnings, and employs around 4.1 million workers. So during the year, what I understand, and then find some statistics from Export Promotion Bureau and Central Bank, that during the year 2018-19, our total export earnings were US dollars 40.54 billion US, where the apparel industry alone contributed 34.13 billion US dollars.
Okay, thank you, Reza.
But in the meanwhile,
yes, can you hear me? Okay, basically this kind of statistics and data we will come. Basically, our target is that we want to understand the overall condition of the underprivileged people of Bangladesh. So definitely there are many human resources actually involved with the garments industry. Our major target is that how they live in these situations, how they work, what's their present conditions, how the garments owners actually taking care of these underprivileged people. Before that, I want to know the exact condition of the healthcare, because like example, we know as a Bangladeshi people that Bangladesh has heavily involved, like many of the solvent people economically, those who are solvent, they have any problem, they go to Singapore. They have, at least they have any issues, they go to India. So in that situations, what do you think, especially this is for Sadi Bhai, actually, what's the conditions for underprivileged people? Because I know already we're getting information that those who are big owners of the business and they are actually taking their flight and they're trying to move to the other country. This is different history. But we want to know the exact scenario, the healthcare situations, or if you have any specific example, how this specific example hospital, they provide their services, they provide their best effort for Bangladeshi underprivileged people.
Okay. So from the all the government hospitals, all the government
Mhm.
hospitals are giving the services for everybody. Certainly, those are free. Government hospital services are free. But number of patient we have, the number of government hospitals we have is not enough. So we need to depend on the private hospitals as well. But the
Mhm.
private hospitals is certainly not affordable to the
Mhm.
underprivileged patients.
Mhm.
So these kind of patients, they are really suffering. That is why we need to prevent the COVID. It is not possible for us that number of patient will be in the city or in the country and we can treat all of them properly. We don't
Mhm.
have that infrastructure. For example,
Mhm.
now in Dhaka city, the hospital, police hospital is working as a COVID hospital. This Dhaka Medical College is working for that, and also some other hospitals, those are also working for this COVID hospital. But what is the number of seats they have? Not enough. Some private hospitals, they have come up. For an example, Bosundara has now started a hospital that is bed is 1200 plus bed. That is another good initiative. Other private organization like Akis, they are also
I
making
have
the
a
hospital.
specific question from my point of view, because we also many for people from Bangladesh, we live outside. We want to
Yeah.
know, like we see many newspapers that okay, this kind of group they come up with a big hospitals and a big initiative. But my question is that do they start their services? Like they
They
already start their services or not?
In fact, the hospitals, only one hospital, that is the previously it was named was Apollo Hospitals, that is now named with an American group has taken over the hospital, that they have started their services, but those are not for the underprivileged people. Those are
Understand? Yes,
certainly,
yes.
those are certainly for the people who are privileged. So
Mhm.
so others that those are supposed to come with a big name that they want to start the hospitals in Bangladesh, that has not started yet in a big way.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if the specific answer of your question is that a big group of hospitals from overseas has not yet started function in Bangladesh in that way.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. No, I just want to know. Let's say Bosundhara Group, they say that we want to come up with a 5,000 bed facilities
Yeah,
or 2,000 beds
yeah.
facilities. My question
That
is
is not
that
yet started.
okay, okay, that
They
is
have
the
not yet
point.
started.
And
But what they have
mhm,
done, one good things they have done, the Bosundara Group, they had a convention center. So they have started those convention center, they have converted into the hospital, emergency
mhm,
hospital, so that they can
mhm,
treat these COVID people. So that
very
is a
good.
good initiative they have taken because they have seen that to make this 5,000 bed hospital, it will take long time. So
Mhm,
immediate for giving them the immediate support, they have started these things.
mhm, mhm, Okay, from the audience, Mr. Nasirul Islam, he said this is a great job because we are representing Bangladesh. On the other hand, he is a big HR professional, Mosharraf Hossain sir. He said, "Thanks, Rana, for inviting the talented speaker today. Enjoying very much. Thank you, Mosharraf Hossain sir. You are the best scholars in Bangladesh, I know, and our love and faith always with you." On the other hand, our audience, he is Mohammad Sohail Rana. Thanks to World Talent Economy Forum to inviting today two important guests, which is related with the current situation in Bangladesh. So there are many audience from Bangladesh as well. As you are coming to the global arena, you are talking about the situation of the global arena. They are very grateful to you. So anyway, now I want to go to Mr. Reza Elias because garments playing a very good play like issues in Bangladesh.
Yeah,
I want to know
this is
my
a
question. No, I just have specific things. How many people actually involved from Bangladesh to this garments industry? What you are talking like last 1 year we export $35 billion products. So how many people have like strongly involved from Bangladesh to this garments industry?
In fact, we have as many as 3,800 garments, and some that couple garments industry are in the big scale, and some medium scale are there, and there are a couple of factories like over 1,000 factories, though are very small, and they are doing all subcontracting. But now the situation what appears to be very vulnerable, because what I understand, which is a very recent origin. I spoke to some managing directors and chairman of factory. They're saying that 30% of the garments might be layoff, and more than 100 and 200 factory should be merged into others. Otherwise, there's a way, because for this lockdown, they have incurred a huge losses, and they have to cover, in order to cover the losses, they have to open all. Industry must be open within as soon as possible time, and I think from tomorrow, from day after tomorrow, it is going to be full swing. So government has taken different initiative, which is very encouraging. That government has strictly advised to the management of garment industry to follow the social distancing. So I had a talk with many garment industry chairmen and managing directors. So they said that they are maintaining proper hygiene, they are maintaining proper social distancing, making some sort of distance with the circle. Then one circle is one person, then another circle is 3 feet away from each other. And before entering factory, they have a washing kits as well, soap and detergent and chemicals, everything is there. Before they enter into in the industry, they have to wash their hand properly, they have to follow the proper hygiene, then they allow to enter into the factory. And they have also they have been maintaining one thing which is very good, that they are doing some shifting duty, that one sewing line is will be used for a couple of person, then they will shift it for another day, and they will bring in another shift for another worker, so that they cannot continuously working more than 8 hours, something like that. And when they just come out from factory, they are also maintaining certain distance. There are industry police are there to watch it and control it, so that no violence, no other problems will be raised. So garment people of garment industry now becoming so cautious about social distancing. So I think when they will understand and they will, our creating awareness about social distancing, this is very important to control it. So I think they are trying their level best, and also our government has announced a good amount of incentive for the garment industry so that they can mitigate the needs of the labor and workers. So government is just on the, their government is focusing in a good way to control and taking different measures to control it.
Okay. I have another specific question to Mr. Reza Ilyas. Then I will go to our Sadi Bhai. So, Mr. Reza, actually, Bangladesh, we see that our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, she doing fantastic jobs. Even from international arena, we can find now Bangladesh is now is a very good example for different countries. But our question is that, like example, our Prime Minister taking lot of initiatives, our Prime Minister taking lot of activities, and our government now very proactive about the private organization. But this garments industry, what you are saying, they are in vulnerable condition, they have major financial problem, blah blah blah, major challenges. Government even give them a huge amount of incentives. A industry grow last 30-40 years. I think more than that, like in last 30 years, they're growing very well. What's the issues? Only in between 2 and 3 months of problem, 30% of the garments they have to go for shutdown. What's the issues, or is it the economically is it the sustainable strategy? What's the real insight?
After a shutdown and lockdown, there have been a drastically cut back, reduce the income of general people. So that has been a great influence for garments worker as well, because of the fact that it is very much interrelated from their earnings and others' earning as well. They cannot come to Dhaka from their home district, and they cannot go out from one district to another. As a result, what happens, their needs have been increased all of a sudden. And, the incentive is not the big, it's a factor, of course, but this is not the yardstick to solution. The solution is buyers are involved, those who are purchasing our product, they need to have this product in time. As a result, there are factories, they could not maintain their time for shipment. As a result, a lot of goods have been cancelled. A lot of goods have been pulled. So that is because of the fact that that's one of the big reasons that some buyers, a lot of buyers has cancelled the order. At the same time, when they got the LC, they have already purchased the yarn. They have already purchased the necessary supporting goods, and back-to-back LC have already opened. That money has been stuck up. And that is because of the fact that the crisis has been raised. But if the garment industry, now another point is very important to mention here, that garment industry said to the Prime Minister that if we do not open immediately of the garments factory, then order will go from Bangladesh to another. But I have a big question. All the factories to the other countries are closed. But this has to be considered. That in fact, we are losing some foreign currencies. That is one question, and we are losing the efficiencies of the garments workers. Another issue, because they have to, garments factory had to mitigate the needs of labor, because they are just daily earner people, and they have on an average one person having four family members. If they have two kids, then husband, wife, two kids. So
Okay.
these kind of things is being judged by the government as the same time from the part of garment industry. I mean, owner of the garment industry.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Reza Elias. There is another like more like is actually audience response. Mr. Nasrul Islam, thank you for your support. He said, "Well discussion and good to see." And I'm watching from Bangladesh. Thank you. You are watching from Bangladesh. This show. Go ahead and best of luck. They are actually really positive after like observing your discussions. There is another critical question. I think it's for Mr. Sadi Abdullah. In Bangladesh, the number of it's come from Humaira Tanzila. She said in Bangladesh, the number of active COVID patients are almost 34,700. Do you think Bangladesh hospital will manage more patients on the upcoming days?
Certainly not. Certainly not. Bangladesh is not in a position to handle a lot of patients. So we need to prevent it. We need to prevent it, obviously. And that is the big challenge for Bangladesh, because if the number of patients increase, then it will be really difficult for Bangladesh to handle that kind of patient, because the treatment of the COVID patient is not that easy. And when they become critical, you need the ventilator and all these things, oxygen and everything. So the way number is increasing, it is certainly alarming. Yeah.
So you are talking that this is in alarming conditions. On the other hand, we find that from the different industry, they are taking a lot of precautions. But like what does it mean? Like example, strategically, what's the yes?
Yeah. What you said just before, Rezavi was telling something about the garments industries. So let me give you an example. The garments industry, in the factory, they are keeping enough space to prevent this COVID situation, 3 feet, 6 feet, or whatever it is. But question is that end of the day, when these garments workers are going back to their place, how they stay, where they stay, they're again going back to a very congested area. They're again going to be a place where they don't have the ability to stay in a way that they can stay in a social distance. Let me put you an example. In Dhaka city itself, we have almost 1.5 million rickshaw. And each rickshaw is driven by two rickshaw pullers. That means in the half of the day it is one rickshaw puller, in the other part of the day it's another rickshaw puller. That means almost 3 million rickshaw puller is there. And if I consider the dependent on the rickshaw puller is say 3, it is touching 9 million people only depending on rickshaw and rickshaw puller. And where they stay, they are staying in a very bad situation, and those people don't know how to do the social distancing. In our country, in our situation, our social distancing would be different, and it needs to be teach them properly. If I said that like the Europe, we can do the social distancing, it is not possible in Bangladesh. Of course not possible. So in that situation, how we will prevent this COVID situation or this corona situation, that we need to find out, and we need to advise them properly, and we need to show them properly. All the people, we are saying that we need to be social distancing, we need to be in the house, we don't need to come out. But in Bangladesh, it is not possible in that way. This in Dhaka city itself, if the 9 million people is depending on the rickshaw, where they will do if they do not have the earning? They cannot get the money from the government. It is not possible. So it needs to find out the proper way that how to control this COVID situation from these underprivileged people.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I find another question. I think it's from Araf Mehraz. I think this is for Mr. Reza Elias. How long will it take us to return to the former position in the garment sector? And do you think we will be able to return to the former buyers?
If I say that's it will be just right now, it is very difficult to say when we'll be reinstating in the previous situation, because tomorrow is going to be open. All the markets, all the garment industry. No matter what. It's a limited way or the bigger way. We can understand these things at least after a month or after 4 or 8 weeks. The situation and what is the after effect of the opening industry. But what I understand, talking with scholars, talking with some economists and industry, these people, that it is a little bit under threatening because the losses have been made in a sense that buyer has already reduced order and cancel order. As a result, the occupancy of the factory are not 100% fulfilled as it was before. So there are buyers, most of the buyers are really interested to stay in Bangladesh, to give order in Bangladesh, and they are focusing the special needs for the workers to be, better hygienic. At all times, the system must be followed. When process implementation of a garment industry, at the time sewing, cutting, their dyeing starts from all levels. It must be in a way so that at least our buyer will be satisfied, our buyer representative will be satisfied. So I think it will take really some times. It is very difficult to specifically say that how much time will be needed to come back again. Maybe if the spreading or contagious period or incubation period is getting over and peak period is over of COVID-19, then there will be not that much time will be needed. If COVID is controlled, is one picture. If COVID is not controlled, then another picture. Maybe we have to make a shifting duty, or we have to place the whole arrangement of sewing tables. In order to maintain the social distance, the setup of the machine should be changes, or it will be alternatively they will have some shifting duty. And at the same time, what I understand that the elderly people, those who are working out there in the garments, they have become shifted. They got a shifting duty. So government as well as industry people are really very serious about it. They are really focusing on the needs of the foreign buyer so that they will not lose any order. So they are trying, but as it seems, I'm very honestly speaking, nobody can predict when this situation will be over. But at a period of 6 months, I truly believe that something will be happening positively.
Okay. Thank you.
Industry
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Before I go to Sadi Abdullah Bhai, like from our audience, Humaira Tanzila, she want to give you thanks because of I think this answer come from Mr. Sadi Abdullah. Anyway, our major from our side, we want to know actually what the frontliner situation in Bangladesh, like doctor, like nurse, and police, RAB, what's their conditions? And already we know that many of the doctors, actually around the world it happened, many of the doctors already died, and many of the important person already died, but specifically we want to know about the frontliner condition.
The frontliners in Bangladesh, first of all, salute to all of them. They are doing marvelous. They are doing excellent. The doctors, the cleaners, the nurses, everybody who are in the front line, they are doing excellent. When they have started to give the services, they even didn't have the proper protection. They didn't have the PPE, they didn't have the mask, nothing at all. But still though, they did their job. You will surprisingly see in the Dhaka city, the cleaners are cleaning. What they have, they don't have enough protection. Still they are doing. We should say that our frontliners are in very dangerous situation, but they are giving all their services. And it is very, very much appreciable.
Thank you. Another audience ask you question. I think this is from Firdaus Rana. She asked you question, why we cannot increase the number of COVID testing? What the reason that we cannot go for massively COVID testing? And as well as we want to know, because we want to understand, like when some of the group of peoples or some of the innovator, let's say in Singapore, they are highly recognized with their innovations and other things. When testing kit come, like example, there are a lot of chaos and many things, because this is the audience questions, why we cannot increase the COVID testing, because we are huge amount of people, 160 million people. So
yeah, so if you can remember from the beginning, the World Health Organization, they say that the first thing they need, test and test.
yes,
Because more they will do the testing, more they will be able to identify the patient, and more they will be able to control the situation. But unfortunately, in the beginning, we didn't have the enough place to do this test. We didn't have the enough kit also to do the test. Somehow or other, we are very much conservative about these things. If you ask me the questions, I cannot give you the answer. Why we are so conservative about this testing situation? We should allow all the clinics to do the testing. In the beginning, you knew that the doctors were in a bad situation because everybody, whenever they are going to the hospitals, hospitals are not giving the admission to the patient. The reason is very obvious. Everybody misunderstood the doctors, but it is not their fault, because it is said from the government side at that time that no COVID patient can take admission in those hospitals. What they need to do? They need to go to the one place to do this treatment. And those clinics were also not allowed to do the COVID test. And now question is that the hospitals, if any COVID patient come there, if they do not know whether this patient is a COVID patient or not, how can he or she can be admitted in that hospital? Because the full hospital will be in trouble. But if they know that this is the COVID patient, then they can separate him and take the necessary steps. For these situations, they even cannot take the other people admission who are not the COVID patient, because first of all, any patient come there, they need to do the COVID test, but they were not allowed to do the COVID test. For that reason, all the hospitals were sitting idle, were not able to do anything. So the testing should be allowed in every possible way. It is not a very difficult job. We have lot of pathological, we have lot of diagnostic centers. We can easily do this testing. It should be allowed immediately to do the testing. Maybe the number will increase the COVID patient, even it is better. At least we will know that how many numbers of patients are there. Because the COVID patient, if they are not tested, if they roam around in the city, they are just spreading it like anything. So the questions was that why this testing is not doing a lot. The answer I don't have properly. I can only say it should be a lot of COVID tests should be done in Bangladesh. Testing should be very easily and available to everybody.
Okay,
In
okay,
other
thank you.
countries, also it is not in that way.
Yes, yes, I understand. This is very honest opinion we get from your side. Uh, we want to move forward because Bangladesh, we see GDP wise, it's a very fantastic development from Bangladesh. But yes, now every country facing challenging situations. Second thing, I believe our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Ministers, playing fantastic jobs. I can remember when we meet with the different countries' prime ministers and many discussion forum. Bangladesh now is a very important example and model for many countries. But in that situations, well, this is our question. Like example, when we work with Silicon Valleys and this kind of innovative industry, we find they are heavily moving with artificial intelligence and lot of alternative. I want to give you a specific example. Let's say when I know a few of the projects like restaurant business, they now they are moving for autonomous vehicles and this kind of services, drone service, autonomous vehicles. So as a Bangladeshi, I saw many of the Bangladeshi people when they come outside, they are basically doing job in restaurant and different kind of things. So if these situations, all of the countries change their strategy, they adopt new technology, they adopt new things, new business model for their country and for their saving purpose. What's the preparation of Bangladesh, both in the garments industry as well as healthcare industry? Or I know you have a lot of experience in engage with the business and other things. What Bangladesh have strategy right now to survive in the upcoming situation?
Okay, for the health industry, the the things is done in European countries, those are not affordable for Bangladesh. So
Mhm,
Bangladesh should have think about their own way to solve it.
mhm,
So telemedicine could be one of the good things that can be
mhm,
possible because we have the limited number of doctors, physicians, and we have huge number of patients. And most of the time, another thing is that the doctors do not want to leave the city. So what will
mhm,
happen
mhm,
in the village area? So what government and private owners, they are also trying and doing it. They will do the centers in different places where they can get the treatment through telemedicine. At least
mhm,
they can get some basic treatment from them. And also, I'm sure these non-government organizations are coming up because they always give a very strong role in this kind of situations. They will
mhm,
open their own centers and they will educate our people that how to maintain themselves uh, uh, free from this COVID situation. So easy way to understand them, how to clean their hands and how to keep the distance from others from them, and not to take it lightly. Bangladesh people has a tendency because we suffer a lot in the cyclone, flood, and etc. Everything we take
mhm,
very lightly.
mhm,
That's not
mhm,
fine. Problem arise, we will overcome from it. This
mhm,
COVID
mhm,
situation is not like that. It
mhm,
may
mhm,
yes, it may retain in this country for another 4 or 5 years. What will happen then? It cannot sit idle. So
mhm,
how to manage this kind of situations? Government is taking also initiatives. Private owners are privately defined NGOs are also taking the initiatives that uh, how to prevent this system this corona and COVID situation. That is the only way for Bangladesh.
mhm,
Bangladesh cannot imitate the things those has been done in other countries. We cannot do
mhm,
the toll system in Bangladesh immediately because our GDP is do not allow that. When our GDP will go more and more, then we can do things what the European countries are doing.
mhm, mhm. Yes, yes, I understand. That is our session. Basically, we do work with the first worlds. I told you from Cyberjaya to Silicon Valley. We are trying to involve with the maximum thing. Even for your telehealthcare, this system we are working with this Australian teams, and we hear that this will be very effective but you not test your patient. So I understand that Bangladesh, if they have a very good ecosystem like for healthcare system, this telemedicine and these things will be very effective for Bangladesh. This is a very good point. On the other hand, Mr. Reza Ilyas, because you have a lot of engagement with the training and development as well. So you engage with the people development and this kind of activities with the government side and the corporate side you engage. So I just want to know, like, as like now, many things changing. Like many company actually go for the remote jobs. Okay, they offer their employers for remote jobs. Many technology changes, many young people they have to adapt with the hard skill and different kind of things. So in that situation, I know every country has limitations. Our country also has limitations. Undoubtedly, suddenly I cannot think, okay, our country will be like USA. I do not demand these things. But our question is that, do they Bangladesh has some right strategy, like right philosophy and right objective for developing human resources? Because long time we do not want to see as a cheap labor place in Bangladesh. We want to see some changes. We want to see some dynamic activities. Can you share these things, like what's the condition of the human resources of this industry, how they go for the next level of the business house?
You see, very recently, as you were aware, that Facebook and Google's, I mean, it stopped their, and they have advised their staff to maintain their office from home.
Mhm.
So it's they become a home office. I mean, they have just taken this policy, taken this decision for onward 1 year. So
Mhm.
now staff also having some sort of changes, and they are being motivated to work with home and e-learning as well. So as far as this office is concerned, I think they feel good because
Mhm.
when there are a couple I'm just giving an example that in our Dhaka city, the I mean office in Gulshan and Bonani and Baridhara, the people,
Mhm.
those who have an office in that area, they are residing very, I mean, beside the office, not far away, because road congestion is also a threat for our livelihood. That's why they have to count a better penny every month, home rent and others. And that's why some of the staff, some of the officer and executive have already started moving that area and going remote place. I mean, just far away from Dhaka, having in mind that they can save a lot of money with this, and they can give the half of the rent what they are presently paying to the landlord. And because they have an option to make e-learning and I mean meeting in Zoom with the office, and meeting like this StreamYard. So a lot of e-learning are there. So office, I mean, most of the office are now corporate culture. The people from those who are from corporate, they are doing office from home, and they have a job description, and they are fulfill their job, and management is having a daily meeting in the internet, and they're happy about it. So this kind of culture, I mean, that COVID has made us learn something, that we can make home office competitive, because they have their job description, they can, I mean, fulfill it. And also, I mean, they have submit their performance to their appraisal board as well. And what did he do? Because you have a computer, you have a time. Where you are to home, or you are going outside, your computer telling everything. It's a good proof. And as far as I understand from many people, from many people from many professionals, that they find a less professional hazards, less personal hazards when they get chances to make home office. I
Okay.
think it's a good culture day by day going.
Mhm. Yes, thank you. I think, dear audience, that we have some entertainment today because long time we do policy discussions, we do corporate discussion, strategy discussion, and many more things. Today we have our special guest, and he will perform today. Before that, actually, I have a specific question from actually it's come from audience. Mohammed Shoaib Rana, he asked, Mr. Asadi, with respect, are you in advise or cooperating any of the government or hospital authorities, or do you have any affiliation with the government hospital or something? He actually want to know from you.
Yeah, I'm closely related with the police hospital.
Police hospital, Bangladesh
Police
Police
hospital,
Hospital.
police
Yes,
hospital
yes.
that is now in fact giving the services for this corona patient, COVID
Mhm.
hospital, and I'm closely working with them. In
Very
fact,
good.
just to let you know that we are also introduced some unconventional alternative medical systems also through police hospital,
Mhm.
like
Okay, thank
Akupuncture. Yeah.
Yes, yes. From our side, from World Talent Economic Forum, we observing Bangladesh present conditions and other things. We want to give big thanks to Bangladesh Police. This is the first time how they helping Bangladeshi people, how they cooperating Bangladeshi people, how they engage with the Bangladeshi local populations and other things. We want to give them a big thanks, big respect. If possible, if you know the representative of the police authority, others, we want to give them thanks because we know that police has different cultures and perceptions, but this time how they perform and how they help the local community and the Bangladeshi people, this is actually really interesting. So before move to the Mr. I think that you can taking preparation for your instrument and other things. We by this time we just discussed with Mr. Sadi, like okay, there are many challenges we know. Right the way country like Bangladesh, right the way like developing nation. This is our strategic point of view. Like when we moving to the next level, any kind of challenges come and any kind of situation come, we have to handle. So as we know, many of the peoples outside Bangladesh, they living like me. Do you have any understanding or any kind of information that how actually the different kind of Bangladeshi people they actually helping Bangladeshi people or governments? Specifically, I want to know. We have many big corporations. How they collaborating our Prime Minister office?
First of all, I should say that Bangladesh is a country of big surprise. Here, people
Mm-hmm.
has enormous energy. People here are fighter. They can do a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And another thing, good thing is that the people who are staying overseas, they are continuously giving their assistance to Bangladesh. They are they are always trying to give their help to Bangladesh. I know lot of people in USA, Canada, UK. They are continuously trying and giving help to Bangladesh. They don't want to show their name or anything like that. They just want to do something. But what we can do, and I have taken an initiative to make a proper healthcare system in Bangladesh with the help of overseas Bangladeshis who are willing to help in Bangladesh. So this is we have taken an initiative. Hope this will be successful because we are getting very good response that yes they want to do something for Bangladesh and they really want to help us. So we are proceeding on that, and I'm sure you will see that within another 5 to 10 years of time, Bangladesh will be in different level. Bangladesh will be successful. Bangladesh has enormous opportunity, and Bangladeshi people are very much uh, good of doing things against all odds. So I am very much positive about Bangladesh. I
Thank
I,
you. So
I really appreciate the people who are staying overseas and they are also helping. These NRBs, that means non-resident Bangladeshis, they will make the country, they will make the difference of this country. With their assistance, Bangladesh will proceed.
Yes, understand.
I think so.
Thank you. Before we go for the next show, just we have final questions. What do you think about the? Because today we will share some of the Bangladeshi culture with the music and other things. But for the global perspective, what will be the next step of the globalizations? How Bangladesh will handle global relationship? From both of you, what do you think about the global relationship of Bangladesh?
In fact, if I say Bangladesh is a country, is they have a very good hospitality attitude, you know. So no matter of what, COVID, although made some distance between Bangladesh and other country as well, but as we have grown a good hospitality, we have a very good hospitality mentality, and we have already have a lot of contribution to other parts of the world from our side. I can say in different perspective that no matter of what for this COVID reason, the relationship between among Bangladesh and other countries will not be destroyed, honestly speaking, because we people are really awesome, good human being. We are very good human being as an individual, and we have to evolve ourselves to become better human being before by the time COVID is over. And if you say about relation, as I told you, that most of the people from different parts of the world, they like us because we know uh, we know what is empathy, what is sympathy, and we have a very good you know very good attitude to respect foreign people. So I think there will be no reason to destroy our relation for this pandemic. We will be reviving. We will be. I mean, we will come back very soon to show our better relationship with different parts of the world.
So, what's the final opinion, Mr. Sadi Abdullah?
Globalization, nobody can stop. From Bangladesh perspective, it will happen very rapidly. The reason is very simple. Bangladesh is a small country. We have a lot of few population. So these people need to go outside for work, for their different purposes. And moreover, you can see that our country is developing very fast. And a lot of companies are coming over here because we have the cheap labor and we have the skilled, semi-skilled laborers are here. So a lot of foreign companies are coming. More the companies will coming, more the interaction will happen. So globalization will happen with the Bangladesh automatically. And the way Bangladesh is progressing at this moment, it is not very far that we will be the very good example of the globalization of this world.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for all of your time and everything. Today, dear audience, we will go for some entertainment because now everybody has a lot of challenge in their life. They are depressed sometimes. And actually, in our World Talent Economic Forum from USA, already we bring like doctors in this show, as well as we bring consultant, depression consultant. They can that like you can change your mood, but today we have some entertainment from Mr. Reza Elias. How we know from Facebook that he is actually very good singer. Previously we say that we are bathroom singer. Now people are Facebook singers. So we are Talent Economic Forum. We try to bring talent people in our platform. So Mr. Reza Elias may be our next talent. Okay, definitely both of you invite
Can you
our.
please tell me what kind of song you want to hear? I can
It's
sing Bangla, India, I can sing a little, some Pakistani, and I can sing some English.
Okay,
So what
okay.
do you prefer?
Like
This is
we
the
have
Bangla. Let's
we have
start with
many
Bangla.
yes, we have Bangladeshi audience as well as we have many international audience around the globe.
Okay.
So I think
For
the
international audience, I will play one English, and for Bangladeshi national, I'll play one Bangla. Is that okay
okay,
for you?
okay, not for me, it's for the audience because now today actually
Okay.
lot of audience come. So thank you, Mosharraf Hossain sir, Nurul Islam,
Can you
Araf,
hear me?
Farah Tanzila, Firdaus Rana, Mohammad Shoaib Rana.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Sound is okay? Okay?
Reza bhai, can you check please?
Sound ঠিক আছে?
Okay,
হ্যাঁ?
Sadi bhai, apni ki can you hear
Yes,
me?
I can hear. I can hear, but it is breaking.
আরো জোরে দিব?
No, it is
আরো
fine.
জোরে?
It is fine for me.
Mr. Reza, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Like sometimes your
Hello.
music
পরিপাটি সংসারে আছো আমি।
Excellent, excellent, Mr. Reza Ilyas. Actually, we get a feedback from audience. They said excellent. So this is very nice discussion, and we go for a little bit
You
of
hear it?
yes.
One more English, right?
One more
English.
English. Okay. It depends on audience. If audience want to hear, no problem.
But me gone crazy. Wherever you go, wherever you do, I'll be right here waiting for you. Whatever it takes, yeah, be right here waiting for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Waiting for you. waiting for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Reza, and thank you, Mr. Sadi. There is a very good audience feedback. One of our audience said it's excellent, but I think that I'm sorry. Like I think that from Mr. Reza, he has little bit of internet issues. Maybe if this internet not interrupted, then I know how good singer you are. We will be it will be more enjoyable for the audience, but definitely in our conference and other activities, we're going to invite you, both of you. We're going to invite Mr. Sadi and we're going to invite Mr. Reza, and dear audience, like Mr. Sohel Rana, Humaira Tanjila, Firdaus Rana, Mosharraf Hossain, Mr. Mosharraf Hossain sir, Araf Mehraj, Nasirul Islam. Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone to listening to us. And this is very nice discussion. Hopefully, with your proper collaborations and the proper strategic things, every country, not only Bangladesh, every country, we got to pray for them. So every country can overcome from the present situations. And hopefully, it's a global platform. We need all of your help. We will work together. So we as much as possible we will help each other. So definitely, it's a knowledge-based platform, and we want more of your contribution. Thank you, everyone. And those who are watching us and supporting us, thank you. Thank you for all of your support.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Reza Bhai, for your very beautiful song, and Mr. Sadi for your beautiful insight from Bangladesh.
Thank you, sir. Sadi bhai, thank you. ঢাকা থেকে কখনো যদি দেখা হয় আপনাকে আমার সালাম রইল এবং thanks for all from the core of my heart. And thanks for this participation.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.